not so long one here on the old PrepperNow. This picture is great. This guy encapsulates how everyone feels when Dr. F complains about being harassed. My joke, or my wife made a joke about how these new flying spiders, have you heard about this? I covered it on Crisis Report. Parachuting venomous half-inch long spiders are coming to the Northeast, to the hellscape that is the Northeast. So as if it wasn't bad enough paying $2,000 for a 600 square foot shit shack, now you've got parachuting venom spiders. My wife joked and said that this guy that you're seeing on your screen is the reason why. He did a little GOF, if you will. But yeah, they're joking about this guy in the back, this dude right over here. I mean, yeah. Dr. F complaining. You freaking help to ruin people's businesses, man. I don't think we'll ever get the amount of restaurants back that we had, and nothing will go back. So, $100,000 in a safe at the bottom of Corona Park while magnet fishing. That's pretty cool. That's the one I want to go. So I want to start here and go into this one. So I got a little salty. Over on the old Crisis Report, and I really do try to play it close to my vest. I don't want to be super, angry or right wing. I'm a conservative. I believe in the Constitution. Okay. I believe that we have gone off our course, and a lot of the things going on now are going to have detrimental sociological effects on our society. Okay, I think I've been around the block long enough to look at what's going on and say this is going to be a problem. All of our kids being on screens is going to destroy their brains. We should get rid of them or do something to make it so they can't have easy access. Now, that is a personal parenting thing. We are trying to counteract ours by having our kids constantly in sports. So, 'cause that's what worked for me. When I was growing up, we still had Scooby-Doo and all the other stuff like that. I mean, you could zone out on the screen too when you were growing up. It just didn't have the choices we have now. And if you want to gain weight and have problems, this is a great way to do it. So, study came out, said basically kids that spend 6 hours plus on screens get fatty liver disease, and it helps end their lives quicker than they should. So hopefully that is changing. But yeah, this is Joe, President Ron Burgundy. I like that. So he says that the reason why the new neighbors are flowing in as quickly as possible is because of the Republicans, okay? So just remember that. That's what you need to do. Has nothing to do with his butt getting handed to him in the polls and everybody, really aggravated with what's going on. And there really is an aggravation. I don't think they're going to be able to hold this thing together for too much longer. There's enough people out there that actually, even, progressive lefties that really do care for the country. They believe what they believe, but they do like it here. Oh, man. He keeps blaming other people, and now he's saying he's going to shut it down. After 3.5 years of not doing a damn thing and 10 million people, a couple of New York City's worth of new neighbors have come through the door. He's going to stop it. So, wonderful. So after taking steps on his first day in office to undo security, it's exactly what he did. He basically got in and he said, all right, get rid of that, get rid of that, get rid of that. Open that door. He says, I've come here today to do what the Republicans in Congress refused to do. Secure the border. Texas is actively putting up a freaking wall. There is new legislation in Arizona to do what Texas is doing by the Republican state legislatures because the federal government is not going to get it done. Hakeem Jeffries will stand in your way. He doesn't want this to stop. So, January 2024, Joe has claimed that he has no executive authority to do anything about the border. I've done all I can do. Give me the power. Yeah, you'd like power, wouldn't you? Well, today, he's got election in about, well, really 4 months, because if you think about the early voting, the immigration polling is nasty. It really is bad for him. So he's all of a sudden changing his tune, okay? Because, that's what you do. He's gotten, 10 million, that's a good number for our new neighbors, The New Democrats, I guess, would be another term. So the Trump team said the truth is that Joe's executive order won't stop the invasion. It will make it even worse. Recently learned Joe is secretly granting mass amnesty to hundreds of thousands of these people, along with welfare, government benefits, work permits, and jobs. Yeah, we know that. So in no way should Joe's executive order be described as shutting down the border. No, it's not. It's not going to do anything of the sort. Does not stop or slow 1,500 a day. A day. That's like 45,000 a month. Do the math. Does not stop or slow the 1,500 a day being released into the country by showing up at ports of entry via the CBP One app. So Bill Mulligan has been covering this, and he said, in the middle of the night, hundreds of migrants crossed into San Diego, several from countries of concern, because they're not all from Mexico. And they get here and they take a selfie, and I think from there they get like a cell phone, and then they get the voter package and yada yada yada. So yeah, all of a sudden they're going to fix this. Total chaos soon will be dropped on the streets of whatever. It could be San Mateo, San Francisco, San Diego, doesn't matter. All of it. So he shreds the, quote, xenophobic executive orders of Trump. This results in unprecedented numbers coming over the border. And now he is quietly signing an executive order on Tuesday aimed at slowing the crossings. Ay, ay, ay. It's not going to slow the crossings, folks. It's not going to do anything of the sort. So the EO would slash asylums, yada, yada, yada. It doesn't matter. It's not going to do anything. Joe's going to allow mass asylum claims once people encounters fall to around 1,000 a day. It's ought to be in the wonderful year 2052. So, 4,300 a day in April. Those were entering the U.S. without notice. It just, whole thing's a clown show. So, they say it's aggressive and all that, but it's not going to stop anything. It's not going to stop anything. Our new neighbors are going to keep streaming over and coming towards us. They just will. So what is this going to do? And what people don't understand is this is going to swamp the system with social services. It'll keep our government large, because they have to cover all this stuff. And when it's so large that there's such a large problem that they can't even keep up with it. you can't secure people to come over and and show up for their trials and stuff like that. I mean, yeah. So they go into the country, they start working, they start doing their thing. And if you've followed people like Tucker Carlson, there's a possibility of a lot of these people not just staying, but getting a lot of the rights that you and I have. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge, now to Maine, now to Maine. Which means they could decide things. So it's a problem. So it's politically risky, invites criticism from the left flank, which how many are there? There's really not that many. They want to make it seem like everybody is just full-on leftist now, and the fact is, you go and talk to anyone, most people are not that way. There are people that are sympathetic. There are people that say, oh, you poor thing, you whatever. You get the point. So, left is going to be angry at this. Potential to stymie his efforts to shore up an electoral coalition already riven by divisions over his handling of the wars and overarching concerns over his age and fitness for a second term. I mean, let's be honest. What they're going to do is they're either going to bring in Newsom or they're going to bring in Hillary. That's what I see happening. I see him doing his thing for a couple more months, and then they say, okay, we're going to go away, and then magically Hillary's going to come rolling in, and she's going to have all the answers for everybody. It's a show, folks. So, my concerns are things like who's coming over and what can they do to us. If you followed any of these channels that have watched and seen, I mean, you can pretty much see it daily where some people are coming over and they're quite clearly not of a Latin American descent. So that's a problem. We always talk about all of us needing all this identification and all this stuff. When they show up, we don't know who they are. We don't know how old they are. We don't have any way to really test all that. A lot of them have IDs or some form of, documentation, whatever that may be, but there are some that don't. And that's a problem. So, I mean, they'll put it together. They'll make everybody, feel all good about themselves, and the mass flow of new neighbors will slow down just a wee bit. But in the end, they've brought in 10 million people. 10 million. Think about that. That's probably a low number. That's just nuts. So I don't see how you counteract that. So what I'm doing is bracing for impact. Now, do I think things are going to happen, in the next few months? Well, kind of depends. I can tell you that people on the right are very tired of all this. I said this on Crisis Report. I don't know what's going to happen, but at some point they're going to take things into their own hands. Because this is what they feel like it's pushing them towards it. So I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't want to be in cities. This whole thing is just, I mean, it's insane. What other country does this? What other country does this? None. None do this. Now, I get it if you're coming up here and, you're trying to make your life better and you're going to school and you're trying to raise family and yada, yada, yada. But, there are groups of people that are not that way. There are groups of people that are coming from Iran. There are groups of people that are Chinese nationals that are coming over. And, we're asking for it. So there she is. There's Shine Bomb, the new Presidente de Mexico. Amir Sarfati said this. She aligns more with Soros than she does with Israel or anything like that. So, it's going to get worse, you've got Mayorkas on our side and you got Shine Bomb on the other side. What do you think's going to happen? Yeah, the beatings will continue until morale approves, and that's what's going to happen. So Joe and his buddies are all excited about this, taking other steps to tighten immigration rules. Last month, they proposed a rule that would allow the U.S. to expedite the expulsion of certain undocumented migrants trying to claim the asylum. So I guess you can't just chuck them into the back of a van and take them down to the Mexican border and say, here, go. I guess not. I guess instead they go up to Tennessee and they're dumped off on a street corner. So that's what's going on. Here we are. Johnson is doing what he's doing. He's his own little quagmire, with all of his things. He's actually, people don't know this, he's been talking to John Boehner, if you remember him from a decade ago. Mr. Weepy Eyes himself, who made some electoral and popular sovereignty mishaps happen. So this is it. This is what we got rolling for America right now. I don't know. I don't understand why this has been able to go on for so long. And as mad as I get for how long it has gone on, there's part of me that says this is good for the kids, or not kids. There's part of me that says, sorry, I'm reading a text from my wife. I got crossed up. Talking about sports. There's nothing good about this. So, yeah, it is what it is. So, and the polls say that this is the biggest issue. It is. It is the biggest issue. Because think about what it affects. Think about everything. It affects everything. What does it not affect? It affects our resources. It affects our money. It affects our popular sovereignty. It affects, school systems and everything. I can tell you that directly. I've had many a non-native speaker in front of me. And usually I'm one of the few, because I can speak kitchen Spanish. I'm one of the few that gets these people and teaches them, or talks to them, because, well, they need to have something go on. And, yo hablo asi. So, I don't know. I find it nice and arrogant that the man sits there with his hands tied for 3.5 years, and all of a sudden he's like, hey, we got to rein this in. We got to get this going. Got to stop it. And of course, Trump tried to do this. He was called xenophobic. He was called every name in the book. Joe does it, and it's like it's the greatest thing since whatever. I don't know. It's frustrating. So, all I can say is that the beatings will get worse until morale approves. Crack another can, and we're gonna call it a night. Friends, please hit the like button and subscribe and all that. I don't know. This is frustrating. There's some things I can wax poetic on. This thing It's so frustrating. It's just, I want to talk about it, but I don't know what to talk about because it's ridiculous and it shouldn't be happening. I guess that's the best way to put it. And everybody knows it. That's the one thing. If I was like some one-off, it was something like, guns, and I thought one way and most people think another way. Okay, I get it. But most people agree that this has just gone on for too long. It's crazy. And it's not the sign of a healthy country, and it's not the sign of a healthy, policy. Look at that man. Look at him. I read a thing tonight where they're talking about briefings with him and how he damn near passed out. This is the guy leading us, and he wants to do it again. I don't know. Do you think he's going to be the candidate? I think they're going to bait and switch him out. I think they're going to bring in Hillary in August. I do. What do you think? Do you think they're going to bait and switch him out? I think they are. I think they're going to get everything going, and then all of a sudden they're going to say, "Hey, this Joe, he's too, he didn't do this right or didn't do that right, and he's too old, so we're going to switch horses midstream and bring you Hillary." Oh, man. I wasn't happy about Joe, but Hillary, it has nothing to do with her being a female. Hillary be tough. We shall see. Folks, hit the buttons, leave a comment. God bless you all. I appreciate you. Frustrated, but you got to talk it out. So please do all things, leave a comment, and we will see you on the next one. Thank you and good night.